Alright, so what's up guys? So today, uh we're gonna be doing a Brotato tier list. Character tier list. Now I I gotta make a confession. I haven't used or won with all of the characters, but I used most of them. So I'm still gonna do it because I'm just really addicted to Brotato. This game is really fun. I mean, if you have Steam and you have $5 to spare, just buy it, man. It's great game. Look at this a poop. Shit. Piece of shit. Somebody gave a piece of shit to this. Okay. Okay, actually, let me just uh okay, wait, I wrote that wrong. Wait, I forgot how to write absolute. I'm stupid. Am I stupid? Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Okay. Piece of fucking trash. Let's go. Okay, yeah, perfect. Alright, so let's see. First we got the apprentice, easy S tier. You gain two melee damage, one range damage, one and no, not one engineering. Oh well, yeah, you do one engineering and one elemental damage. Also, I got the wiki right here just in case I need to look at any of the characters. But you lose two max HP every time you level up, which is honestly not that bad of a downside. He's really fun to use. You can pretty much play however you want with him. Easily one of my favorite characters, one of the nicer looking ones too. I really like how this guy looks. So yeah, easy S tier. Next up, we got the arms dealer. And the arms dealer, I'm gonna give him like a C. I mean, wait, actually, let me go on the wiki real quick. Let's see, I'm right here. Okay, so you get negative 95% weapons price, 30 harvesting, damage modifications are increased by 33%. Start with one dangerous bunny. Shop always sells at least one weapon. All of your weapons are destroyed when entering a shop. Now, this guy is really a pain in the ass to win with because I was trying to beat Danger 5 with this guy. I just couldn't. I mean, when you do win with him, you get the anvil, which is one of the best items in the game. I will do an item tier list in the future once I finish unlocking all the items from all the characters. So yeah, arms dealer is honestly just a pain in the ass to use because if you get like you can get trash weapons. You gotta at least get one weapon. You always lose your weapons. It's just not fun. You just keep buying, and I mean, sometimes you don't even have enough money to buy like a legendary weapon, which honestly, that's just kind of a problem. And most of the time, you're only gonna get like three, and the maximum like five weapons. You're never gonna get six weapons, and you always gotta like lock weapons before you buy them in the next wave, so you can have weapon, like at least a decent weapon for the next wave after your weapons get sold when the wave finishes. It's just a pain in the ass to use. Now the Artificer, I actually really like this guy. He looks kind of British with those yellow teeth. Are those yellow teeth? No, they're not. But I mean, I like to think of him as British. I mean, he looks British. British, mate. I'm sorry, that was cringe. Okay, so he gets, I think, 175 explosion damage. My internet's not the best right now. He gets like 175 explosion damage. 4 explosion sets for every 1 elemental damage you have. Negative 100 damage, which is honestly really large downside. And armor modifications are reduced by 50%. Now, this guy actually was pretty fun to use because I was just blowing everything up. I got 6 bazookas. It was actually really fun. I actually managed to get the nuclear too, which like, you get on by unlock by winning with the soldier, which I'll get into in a little bit. Oh, sorry, I just read something outside. I thought somebody was trying to break in. Okay, no worries. Well, yeah, actually a pretty fun character. I mean, the only way you can get, unless you beat it with him and then you do the Danger 5 with the Artificer, unless you beat like, I don't know, like Danger 2 or Danger 3, or maybe you beat Danger 5 and then you beat him again, and then you beat Danger 5 again with him. You can get the explosive shells. They're actually pretty good. They give you a lot of explosion damage. But if you don't win with them and you just go straight into Danger 5, then you're gonna have pretty bad. Well, you're not gonna have bad time. You're just gonna be kind of complicated to get more explosion damage. Since the only way to get explosion damage, or the only ways, are in the is with dynamite, which the default item you always can always get that. It's a common item too, so it's not that hard to get. But you're still gonna be kind of difficult to get multiples of them, so you can get your explosion damage up. I mean, honestly, I just like him. I mean, he's more of a C tier character, but just because I prefer. This is also my opinion. My opinion. Before people start yelling at me in the comments, even though I have no subscribers. Also, to the person that unsubscribed from me, you're a nice person, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you're watching this in the day, I mean, if you're watching this in the night, then a great sleep. I don't know. Brawler, uh, he's okay. I mean, he's not too bad. He's not too good. I mean, minus 50 range damage. That's not really a big deal if you're just focusing on melee. You get 50 attack speed with unarmed weapons. It's pretty good. I know. Wait, yeah, 50 attack speed with unarmed weapons, and you get negative 50 range, which honestly not that large of a downside. That can easily be fixed with things like the glasses or with the scope. Maybe no, not the scope. The scope. It's not really good for fixing that, but there's a lot of ways to get range. That's what I'm saying. See to your character. Uh, the bull. I mean, I played with him once. I mean, he was pretty cool. Just take a he just explodes every time he takes damage, which is the main way you can do damage because you can't equip weapons. It was pretty fun to use. Not that just mainly focus on explosion damage and tracking some explosion damage and the max HP because I think he stacks his damage stacks with max HP. So yeah, pretty fun character. Chunky, honestly, I did not really like him. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me actually look for his stats. I mean, you do get the potato launcher as when you win with him, which is actually not that bad. I mean, potato thrower. So yeah, max speed modifications are increased by 25%. So basically, just focus on 25 on max HP, which honestly, this guy sucks complete ass. I mean, negative 100 life steal sword with like a large downside, like no healing basically in any sort of way because you also get negative 50% or uh I can't speak. I'm sorry. Okay, HP regeneration modifications are reduced by 50%, dodge modifications are reduced by 50, and speed modifications are reduced by 100, which is absolutely terrible. This guy just sucks. I'm sorry, but absolute piece of fucking trash. Okay, crazy. I mean, he just gets range with precise weapons, and yeah, it's not. I mean, you do get the hunting trophy for winning with him, but it's honestly not really. It's not really a good character. You start with a knife, and you get 25 attack speed, which is pretty nice. No dodge, and then negative 10 in engineering and negative 10 range damage. So yeah, this guy's honestly pretty mid. So I'm just gonna leave him. Let's see. Cryptid. I haven't used. So okay, actually I got an idea. Uh, can I? How do I make a? Oh, delete at below. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, now we can go here. And we're just gonna put haven't used. Don't worry, I will do one in the future where I already have one with all the characters and have used them. Haven't used. I wrote that wrong, but I don't know how to do the thing with the little comma thing. So I'm just gonna put all the characters I haven't used down here. There's another one I haven't used. Where is it? Renegade. Yeah, okay, okay, there we go. So only four. I've used most characters. Cyborg. Now this guy, I honestly do not like this guy. He focused mainly on engineering because you get damage modifications are increased by 250%, which is a ton. You may think, oh, you're gonna be super broken with range damage. But no, all that gets converted into engineer, which is kind of the point since he's a cyborg, and pretty much all other like damage type modifications are reduced. And I think engineering modifications are increased. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, all your range damage is converted into engineering, which is honestly kind of bad because if your turrets can't kill enough enemies and your range damage gets converted, then you're kind of screwed. Also, like damage and melee and elemental modifications are reduced by 100%, and engineers reduced by 75% too. So you can't really focus. And the biggest plus is you start with one minigun, which is the minigun's actually one of my favorite guns in the game. I almost never get it from the shop. I always get SMGs, but I mean it's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna put them at C. Yeah, C sounds good. The demon. Now, I actually think this guy's not that bad. I mean, you do pay with your life, literally and figuratively. You're gonna be very weak in the earlier ways, but once you start getting balanced out with max HP and by buying stuff, then you're pretty much Gucci. Uh, you're pretty much Gucci. That's stupid. I'm sorry. But you're pretty much fine or pretty much good for the rest of the run, if you run. If you manage to balance out your max HP with buying more stuff, more weapons, and more upgrades and more items. So yeah, pretty kind of a pain, but also kind of fun to use. Doctor, I had a pretty ridiculous run with this guy. So I think running Danger 2. You get 200. Actually, you get like 200 attack speed with them with medical weapons, and you get 5 HP regen. HP regen is doubled on minus 100 attack speed, which is really bad, but that can be fixed over time. And armor modifications are reduced by 50%, which actually not that bad since you're mainly gonna be focusing on regen and max HP. It's actually a pretty fun character. But I actually like got very lucky with him. I got like 20 miniguns when I was using him. I'm not even kidding. And I had an anvil as well, so I had like no, I had like five legendary miniguns and like one medical gun, so that was pretty fun when I used them. I'm actually not that bad of a character. Plus the mech kit's pretty useful item if you get it in a run, so engineer really fun to use. I mean, I'm not particularly good with them. I always die. Every time I try Danger 5, I always die with them, but pretty fun character. Like you can just run around, hit the enemies with your wrenches and your screwdrivers, and those turrets just do a lot of damage. With all that engineering you get, so yeah, pretty cool. Next up, we got the entrepreneur. This guy's basically just get a ton of money with this guy. Item prices reduced, which is very nice, very good ability. Especially if you manage to get all five coupons that you can get, but you get 50% item prices is honestly really broken. If you do manage to get lucky enough to get all the five amount of coupons. So yeah, pretty fun character. You get a lot of harvesting and damage is reduced, but you kind of contradict that if you use engineer. If you go for engineering with them, it's actually pretty good since engineering doesn't involve any damage modifications. It just involves engineering and secondary modifications. I mean secondary stats. So yeah, pretty fun character. I do recommend going with engineering and turrets and wrenches if you are using him. So yeah, pretty fun character. Explorer, pretty fun character as well. I enjoyed playing with them. Map size is increased. You get a lot of trees spawning, which is very nice. You get a lot of economy. I mean, you do get some downsides. I don't remember what they were. How much? How long? Okay, 14 minutes. Actually, not that long. So yeah, you get one lumberjack, lumberjack. You get speed, you get a pickup range, pretty useful. But minus 50% dropped from material drop from enemies. Enemy speed. You can get the snail from the old. You can get it to reduce that to 5, which is pretty useful. And minus 40 damage is honestly pretty bad as well. But you're mainly just gonna be running away from the enemies if you don't really focus on fixing that damage. But pretty fun character. Not the best, but pretty fun. Especially the map size increase. That's probably the best part. And the trees, pretty fun. To just cut them down all the time. Next time we got the farmer, pretty basic. Just get harvesting, and he doesn't really do that much damage. It's not really good for damage. He's just good for harvesting, basically. I mean, it's in the name farmer. I mean, you can get damage, and you get less materials dropped by enemies though, which is not that big of a downside if you're just getting a lot of harvesting and if you manage to get a lot of trees, really lucky, that's pretty cool. Actually, I'm gonna put this guy in S tier because he doesn't get any type of negative. Like the only negative is 50 materials dropped, minus 50 materials dropped, which is honestly not that large of a negative. Actually, I'm gonna put him in A because I don't use him that much, but it's a pretty fun character. Next up we got the fisherman. Honestly, this guy's really fun to use. I've been saying that about every character. But if you get spears and you get a ton of bait, you're pretty much set because spears are really good for for crowd control. And if you're gonna be getting a lot of bait with this guy because the bait price is reduced by 100%, which is really good if you want to get a lot of bait. Well, that's pretty much what you're gonna be doing. So yeah, pretty fun character. If you get the spears, you can pretty much just destroy the hordes and you pretty easily win. Plus, the item you get when beating him is when beating with him, beating a danger with him is pretty good. Get the lure, which basically more loot aliens spawn, which is always A plus because loot aliens are amazing because they give you loot. All right, next up we got the generalist. Um, I mean, you can only equip 3 ranged weapons, 3 melee weapons. And you get 1 range damage for every 2 melee damage you have. You get 2 melee damage for every 1 range damage you have. See, I don't really like them. I just because preferably you want to run the same weapon. So you just like you don't want to run like SMG, pistol. No, you don't want to run like SMG, and then like sling. No, not sling. Like club. So yeah, I don't really like him though. The ghost, basically, you're just gonna be dodging every attack. That's pretty much it. He's not bad. Pretty solid character. Put him in A. He's pretty fun to use. Plus, dodge is capped at 90, which is super good. 'Cause you're pretty much gonna be dodging every attack coming at you, and you get more damage with the ethereal weapons, but negative 100 armor, which is pretty low chance hunt actually. The gladiator. I mean, he was fun to use. We just got a bunch of different melee weapons and just rolled with it and won. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next up, we got the glutton, which I really thought originally thought this guy was the chunky, but no, it's actually a different character. I thought these guys were the same, but no, they're not. This is slightly better. I'm gonna put him at D. I don't really like him though. I mean, he gets a lot of max HP because and you also get luck, and you have a 100% chance of an explosion to happen when you pick up what's it called again? A consumable. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But you do get item price, which is really bad actually, and negative 25% XP, which I mean that can easily be fixed with something like a Scar or the Peacock. But yeah, Golem, really solid character, really fun. If you get the spiked shields, you're pretty much just good. You get You can get a lot of armor, you can get a lot of max HP. You can't heal, so you don't have to worry about consumables, like consumable healing or HP regen or life steal. So yeah, pretty fun character. You can just focus on max HP and armor pretty much all the time. And but you also gotta focus on damage so you can keep up with the enemies. Okay, next up we got the Hunter. Honestly, this guy, I hate this guy so much. I'm not gonna put him at absolute piece of shit because I'm a piece of trash. Because he's not as bad as Chunky or as the Glutton. But honestly, I just don't like him. Like every time I use him, like the crit chance modification, only 33%. Honestly, not that much, and pretty much I just ran away from the enemies when I won with them. I mean, it's not like it wasn't doing damage. I was doing a lot of damage, but like I was using mostly precise weapons when I first used them. So that meant I was very like I had like no attack speed. Well, I did, but my weapons attack slower. Like I had like crossbows and shurikens, and yeah, it was not the best. But then I just kind of went like fuck. I just used a bunch of knives and won. So yeah, pretty okay character. I don't really like him though, but okay. Jack. Enough said. Lich. Basically you get some life steal, some HP regen. Basically feeds off the enemies. Never used them that much, but he's a pretty solid character. Not bad. I'm gonna put him at B tier. My bad. Next up, we got Lao, which you get 50% enemies and 30% damage. It's honestly not that bad. If you use this guy, if you use ethereal weapons with this guy, you're pretty much set for life because you're just gonna be getting a ton of stats. If you get the spears, then you can get a bunch of attack speed. If you get the axe, you can get a bunch of damage. If you get the staff, you can get a bunch of max HP, which is really useful if you use the dealer. But yeah, pretty good, pretty decent character. Lucky, I do not like Lucky. I'm sorry, but I just do not like Lucky. I mean, he is ahead of Glutton, but he is not too good. I mean, minus 60 something attack speed and minus 60% XP gain. It's really bad. Not gonna be leveling up at all in the beginning unless you get items like the Scar very early on, so you can get the XP gain back to normal. But the 60% attack speed is really bad in the beginning since you won't be getting much attack speed in the beginning. There is some ways. I mean, you can get that for the level upgrades or from things like the scope. I know not the scope, the Gummy Berserker and stuff like that. But honestly, not that good of character. You do get a lot of luck, but and luck modifiers are increased. But honestly, that doesn't really make up for it because I get very unlucky when I use them, which is very ironic. The mage, basically, he only does elemental damage. If you try to go for anything besides elemental damage, you're screwed. Like, I mean, minus melee damage, minus 100% melee damage modifications, minus 100% range damage modification, minus 100% engineering modifications. But he does get, I think it's a scared sausage and a snake. Yeah. If you get manage to get more snakes and scared sausages and a lot of wands and a lot of elemental damage, you're pretty much set for life. It's pretty much kind of a trend with all these characters. Next up we got the Masochist. This guy's really good if you get something like the Bloody Hand or the Blood Donation because basically you just want to be taking damage all the time so you can do more damage. Kind of OP, not gonna lie. This guy's actually really good. I only used him a couple times, but not bad actually, not bad. Next up we got the multitasker. This guy's an easy S tier. 12 weapons. Enough said. 12 weapons. I mean, yeah, you get minus 5 damage for each one you have, but that can easily be negated. Easy S tier. I'm so okay. Mutant. I really like this guy. I don't know why. The XP gets just really fun to just level up constantly. You get like 3 level ups per wave, pretty much guaranteed. At least in the earlier waves until like Wave 10, Wave 10, where you start leveling up less. So, and actually really fun. I mean, the 50% item price is really bad. You do get coupons, it makes it a little bit better, but I mean, from a subjective standpoint, he's either a D or an absolute piece of fucking trash, or AC. I'm just gonna put him at C. Old, honestly, really kind of boring. I had fun, but not as much fun as some of the other characters. He's kind of mainly sat in the middle area because the map is reduced. The map size is reduced. You have no speed basically at the beginning, and you don't really do much damage. It's not bad, but I don't know. I just kind of get bored when I use them. So yeah, I don't get too bored. One armed. I really like this guy. He's probably not an S tier character, but I feel like damage modifications are increased by 100%. Really good. What else? Uh, 200 plus attack speed. You can only equip one weapon though, but if you get something good like a minigun or like a slingshot, or if you get like a power drill, I forgot what is it, just a drill or power drill? I can't remember. Or a chain gun or like a Gatling laser, you're pretty much set for life. I managed to get to wave 43 with chain gun with this guy and a bunch of range damage. So yeah, that was really fun. Pacifist, one of the weirder characters. You get basically money for all the enemies you have alive at the end of the wave. I mean materials. You get 0.65, I think. It's not bad, but I just don't find myself using him a lot. Ranger, absolute S tier. Range damage modifications are increased by 50%. Really good off the bat. You get a lot of range. You start with a pistol, which is honestly not too good, but it's pretty useful in the first wave at least. And you also, I mean, and the downside is not even that bad because minus 33% max HP is honestly not that large of a downside. It's pretty easily be negated. Plus, you can just get armor or dodge to kind of negate some of that max HP, kind of ignore it. But I mean, you shouldn't, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Savor. Pretty interesting concept. You get a piggy bank. The item prices increase as well as the same as the mutant. Really bad in the beginning, but once you start getting a lot of harvesting and a lot of money or materials, then pretty cool, pretty good, I guess. I actually gonna put them in C. Sick. I mean, basically, you're just gonna be relying on lifesteal to heal you or consumables because you get a minus 100 HP region, I think. Honestly, really bad, but I mean, it's not bad. So you get to take 1 damage per second, which is pretty bad in the beginning at least. But you do have that lifesteal, which helps out a ton. So yeah, next up we got the soldier. Actually, kind of hard when I it's kind of difficult to win with him because I just kept dying to the bosses because I kept getting very unlucky because I kept getting the butcher boss, which is really bad with the soldier. But honestly, that's just kind of a me problem. But I mean, not bad. You get a lot of you get 40 damage, 40 attacks per when standing still, and you get some other benefits like I think range and attack speed. Well, not attack speed, speed and knockback, which honestly it's more of a detriment because you kind of want the enemies to be closer so you can shoot them, so you don't have to worry about range. But yeah, speedy was really fun to use, especially with that one weapon, the lance. Especially with the lance, you get 6 of those bad boys. You get a bunch of speed. Basically, all your speed is converted into melee. Well, it's not converted. It's basically the same. Basically, it's gonna have a ton of melee damage and speed. It's honestly really good. I mean, you do get minus 100 uh armor when standing still, but you're rarely gonna stand still anyways. Maybe if you get into a boss fight, then you might stand still for a second just to avoid some of his attacks. That's about it. Yeah, really fun character. Streamer. I don't really like this guy. This guy was kind of dumb because you just gotta stand still, and you can't be like the soldier where you can just tap around. You get money by standing still. You get like one material per second, and then it slowly increases. But honestly, it's not as good as the soldier because you can't tap. Because with the soldier, you can just tap the key to move, and you'll still attack. With the streamer, you can't do that because you won't get the materials. You gotta stand perfectly still for at least like an extra second to start getting those materials. I mean, he's not bad. You do get some stats when moving, but yeah, that's about it. You get also negative speed, which is not honestly really bad. Well rounded, easy S tier, no downsides, all benefits. Wielding, not bad. I mean, you do get a lot of life steal. Oh, I'm gonna put him at B. All right, so yeah, that's my Brotato tier list. Character tier list at least. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.